Security Council when he made the sulphur speech. Needless to say, Venezuela missed out. Anti-imperialism is hardwired into the Venezuelan psyche. The local hero, Simon Bolivar, the chap here with a pigeon on his bonds. He threw the Spanish out of South America in the 19th century. Chavez is the high priest of Bolivarianism. The poor, the great mass of society, are on side. For decades, they were the forgotten of Venezuelan politics. Power was in the hands of a wealthy elite. Marioxy looks after 8 children.
Yeah, no, what do you like about Chavez?
Bueno, presidente Chavez, para mí no.
At least President Chavez has helped us here. Most of the people in the barrio are really poor. We have nothing. Now there are clinics where we can go and have medical tests. He's done so much. We just feel happy with him.
That's true. More than half the population now receive free healthcare, and infant mortality has fallen. But the new clinics are needed. The barrios of Caracas are some of the most violent places on earth. Before figures stopped being issued 4 years ago, it was estimated 1 Venezuelan was murdered every hour. Check out the bullet holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these chips here. Marioxy doesn't have all of her children.
This is my son, this is my nephew, this is my other nephew. My son was murdered, this nephew was murdered, and this nephew was murdered. He was killed by the police, he was killed right here on my doorstep, and he was killed a few blocks away.
How often do you hear gunfire?
Bueno, constantemente.
Last night?
Constantly, almost every day.
What about last night?
Anoche has escuchado tiros?
Sí.
Does anybody in authority, does anybody do anything about it?
Bueno, realmente, muy pocos se meten para el barrio.
The truth is, the police hardly come here. It seems they're scared of the local gangsters.
No bajan ni nada.
So the verdict on crime? Not good. But under Chavez, some things are changing for the better. Children have a better stab at education than ever before, with 9 out of 10 now finishing primary school. This is where Chavez is spending some of Venezuela's trillions. The children are told who's responsible. El Presidente.
Our school has the funds and it provides us with food so that our development and learning are good. Who should we be grateful to? Our President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, right?
They get a square meal a day, and that means something in the barrio where there might not be much in the fridge at home, if they have one. In a poor country, it's a smart way of making sure the poorest kids come to school. Before Chavez, was there a food program?
No, the community and the teachers are really grateful. The children used to say to me, "Miss, I can't do this because I'm hungry." That doesn't happen anymore.
Nearly half the population receives subsidised food of some sort. But you can always do more. And he's got loads of money. In the school, we saw few books and no computers, and no sign of new buildings. Chavez's help to the poor isn't that impressive. 60% of Venezuelans still live below the poverty line. And giving away free food is easy. Creating jobs, fighting violence or building drains, that's more of a challenge. Meanwhile, he's promised $1 billion in aid to the rest of the world and $30 million, 15 million quid of that a year to London. Chavez is giving cheap oil to London's buses to subsidise tickets for people on income support, and that guarantees him even more airtime on the box.
I think the media who are broadcasting this will realise that there is some degree of support for the President of Venezuela.
In return, Transport for London is to advise Caracas on cutting down on its eternal traffic jam. In Venezuela, petrol costs just 6 pence a gallon. But not everyone in London thinks the oil for expertise swap a good idea.
You won't catch me doing deals with left-wing dictators so that Venezuelan... So that Venezuelan slum children are effectively subsidising Transport for London. I say it's completely Caracas.